Well, this is going to be a quick one, as there really isn't much to say here. His no longer vegan post had a lot of words, but nothing of value or importance was said. I never really knew much about Cosmic Skeptic, and I'm glad I never did. A few months ago, when he did that awful debate with Michaela Peterson, I watched a response video from Eizel, aka Abalicio. He put these clips together. They speak for themselves. My only question is, why did no one notice? And if they did notice, why did they not care?
These things should be taken seriously as political statements and not dismissed in the manner that we might overlook a racist comment made in anger, captured by security camera while someone is perhaps drunk at a nightclub, perhaps having a fight at a nightclub, perhaps in the middle of a dispute with the bouncer of a nightclub. This is not security camera footage.
I'm interested in asking about if morality is something that's evolved within us and was susceptible to similar arbitrariness. Is the fact that rape is wrong as arbitrary as the fact that we have 5 fingers instead of 6?
I don't think so, because I think, once again, rape causes suffering.
But then the fact that we experience suffering and the fact that we call that suffering is something that's evolved.
You're being too philosophical.
We could call something else.
Yeah. No, I mean, 6 fingers versus 4 fingers or 5 fingers is not a question where suffering arises.
I see. I'm just interested, biologically speaking, is there a good reason that we should have evolved to experience suffering in the way that we experience it?
Well, I've just said the reason for suffering is to teach the animal not to do again what is just done. That's the only answer I have to that.
Okay, well, I suppose we can allow our listeners to make of that what they will. You talk about moral evolution in most of the chapter. You give examples of where we've progressed as a society. How can we determine, because you do that in order to distinguish parts of our ethics that come from our evolutionary history and parts of our ethics that come from society. How can we distinguish and identify which parts of our ethical conduct come from our biology and which come from society?
It's a bestiality. It's pretty disgusting and wrong, man. I was like, well, I mean, instinctively I want to say yes, and they say, but if you have sex with an animal, there's at least a chance that they might enjoy it, you know? And maybe they do. I mean, it's a good chance that they're probably having a good time, or at least it's a pleasurable experience to an extent.
This conversation has taken a turn, but anyway.
I'd love you to do that as a routine at a woke comedy club. That'd be fucking brilliant.
No, but like, this is the thing, right? The eyebrows go to the back of the head, man, and then you say, but think about this, right? Like, when it comes to like slaughtering and killing an animal, that's obviously not in their best interest. They're obviously not enjoying that kind of thing. So it's like, it was an argument from kind of saying, like, if we're allowed to literally take a cow, put a bolt through its brain, turn it upside down, slit its throat and watch it bleed out, then that's just fine and no one cares. But as soon as you put your penis in it, that's a big ruckus. Like, and I was like, that's a really good point. Now, luckily, I'm able to go the one way of saying neither of those things should be done. But I think as a meat eater, these are the kind of absurdities that you have to start considering. Like, what else can that kind of justification allow you to do? The kind of justification that we produce, that we desperately kind of clamber for when we're trying to continue eating our burgers and our milk and our eggs. Those justifications, you want to be careful with them because they can lead you to a whole host of really unfruitful places, I think.
So how many meat-free days a week do you reckon you can have if you want to have sex with a cow once a week?
Do a little hedonic calculus.
Yeah.